All right. We're here with Delney or Delney, Streetwise Lookout. It's a 3-minute 2-2. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked with power 3 or greater. By creatures with power 3 or greater, excuse me. If an ability of a creature you control triggers that has power 2 or less, it happens again. So kind of like the double battle cry, or enter the battlefield, too much Hearthstone. Enter the battlefield effect style thing, like Elish Norn likes to do. So this does lead to basically mono white beatdown. You are mono white, which is not usually the strongest thing to be doing. And you also don't really want to play some of the best cards in mono white because they don't really do much with this. Adeline, let's say for example, I believe I did actually put Adeline in here. Okay, it took me 20 years to find the card, but there it is. Adeline is like one of the best mono white cards, one of the best mono white commanders in the format. It's kind of weird that you don't really ever get this trigger to happen twice, because you probably have more than this and your commander in play when this goes to attack. And then even so, making a second 1/1 isn't really that amazing. And then if you did somehow trigger this, it actually can be blocked again, right? By like whatever your opponent may or may not have. So it's kind of weird. But there are some kind of interesting cards you can run with this. Like Boros Elite can trigger twice, right? This swings as a 1-mana 5/5. I found that interesting. This does, again, mean it no longer works with the top half of the card, but that's probably worth it because you're swinging with a 1-mana 5/5. I still like certain things like Elish Norn in here, even though I'm not... None of that card has to do with this at all. I just kind of like this effect. If you ever get to turn this into a saga, it's just so strong you might as well run it, even if it doesn't synergize whatsoever. You have Convoke with this. There's the other Convoke card, the one that taps your creatures and gives them 1/1 counters, but you're supposed to keep your creatures kind of small, so they're a lot more difficult to block. So I don't actually really like the other one, if it's a Loxodon or some elephant thing. This is also kind of cool. It's like your Convoke token style Avacyn, sort of. I don't hate this. I had to craft it for this deck. Never played it before, but this is where it would fit if it was going anywhere. Stuff like this triggers twice, which is cool, right? I don't think the creature type thing is remotely relevant in this deck at all, but you draw 2, so it's like a divination on a 2/2, so that's relevant, I guess. Like, it's just weird, right? A lot of the commanders from this set so far have been rather weird. This is no exception. This draws 2 cards. It's hard to block, but it was already hard to block because it flies. This can bounce 2 things that may later ETB double themselves. So you've got like this kind of chain going. Ephemerate can make something trigger twice, which is pretty useful with this in play. So there's stuff sprinkled in here that's like super relevant with your commander, but there's also stuff that just doesn't matter that much at all. Which is kind of unfortunate, but you know what? We're gonna try it. It seems cool. I think probably the best card, or one of my favorite cards in here, is Militia Bugler, because it triggers twice, and that seems pretty cool, right? Just kind of like Faceless Agent. I really think this style effect is pretty powerful if you get it going. You have time to do all of that, and you don't die to a board wipe, right? I have Thalia in here, and I believe... If we look, oh, I didn't name the deck. Whoops, I have to name it. If we have 55 creatures, so there are a lot of creatures in here, like a lot. There's almost nothing but creatures. I really think we're trying to kill our opponent as quickly as possible, and if we're not doing that, I don't think we're winning some kind of value game, right? You have to keep in mind the first sliver is all over the place, so you know, Pock is everywhere as well. You really got to kill your opponent. You just got to kill him. You can't let him just go crazy. You can't just do this draw go thing for 15 turns. You're just going to die. This commander doesn't really let you do that. But that's about it. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's name this deck, and let's see how we go. Let's see how we do. What are we naming this? I don't know, I felt like playing a more simple deck. Okay, this actually feels like a good matchup. My opponent can't really use half their deck against me, which is very good. I'm not going to blindly mulligan for whatchamacallit here. This hand is... No, I'm not keeping this. Okay, Menatithe... It's alright. I've never actually triggered this in my life, but it does have Flash, which is pretty cool. But again, we have a really difficult and annoying thing to deal with. This commander can severely struggle with it. I'm gonna just stop that. Yeah, just putting this in play is such a massive problem for this deck. I mean, you don't have a play on turn 2. And I guess I leave one of these up. You can make the argument that I wanted to save Menatithe for this, but I don't think I did. Especially missing a land drop's not really gonna... I don't think I'm getting anywhere. Okay, they notably did not swing with it. I don't really know why. Yeah, they didn't swing with it, and they didn't block with it. I am rather confused. Maybe they misclicked. Even Mind Sensor is a funny blocker. Like, this is a must-block threat, which is really funny to me. Opponent could have just straight up cast this and just didn't. That's funny. Also very funny. Nope, no land. Why would we? Opponent's dead on board unless they have something that deals with this. So they need more non-counterspell interaction. Nice, yeah. My opponent assessed it, and there's probably just a bunch of counterspells. Like I said, this is an abysmal matchup for Malcolm, and I probably could have Manatithed their commander, and they might have scooped right then and there, because they would have never have found a time to really get it in play. But yeah, you get under their counterspells early, and then that's that. I mean, the counters here were really nice, like an escalating thing that had resolved is really nice, but yeah, this is just such a hard matchup for Malcolm. Really nice. At least we have that going for us. And we drew all our flash, so that's nice. Okay, matchup where we basically have to kill him really, really quickly. Otherwise, we don't kill him at all, and then we lose. Thalia is probably too slow and a bit useless in this matchup. Elish Norn is effectively dead until later. I could keep this thinking Elish Norn can pull me out of it by, like, flipping it at some point. And that's possible, so why not? I have things to do in the meantime as well. Adeline was a good draw. Maybe. Maybe, sorta, kinda. Okay, well, they didn't play that last turn, for what it's worth. I guess I'm forced to play Thalia right now. Is this a human? It is. It is. I guess I name human with this then. Actually, every creature in my hand basically is a human. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that 4-mana cultivate that. Probably won't matter. So now I might not even play my commander, just play Adeline instead. They play their commander, and then I can basically swing with everything except Adeline, which is nice. I don't think they can swing with it. Yeah. And then we play this on human. And then I mean, actually, you know what? What am I talking about? I can just swing with Adeline. I didn't even need Bodyguard, but I have it, so... Yeah, we can just swing all out. Yeah, they can't block. Alright, so now it's a matter of do they have something profoundly stupid to go with their Vorinclex immediately that matters here. And this is mono green, so it doesn't have like River's Rebuke or anything. I don't think there's any mono green Planeswalker that does anything either. And this is effectively indestructible too, so... Okay, don't care. Okay, don't care. Nope, that literally doesn't do anything. Okay. And I believe they... Are they dead? They can block with their Llanowar Elves, so not quite. Do I run this out? Does this change anything? I get another 1/1, and math is for blockers, so let's see what happens. And they take... They're dead! Yep, we did it. Look at that. Nice. It's also been a while since I've seen this. So this is a bit slower. And by a bit, I mean quite a bit slower. I kind of like our hand here. It's not too bad. Well, it's bad. Or it's not bad until it is. Sure. Cavernous Souls and a 4-drop. Sure, I am actually kind of fine with that. I like those cards. I haven't played with this yet. Might as well try to get it in play. Let us respect the dumb here with this. Let's put this on human. I probably should just play this, though. I think I'm just going to play this. It's better. I like this. My commander isn't really all that useful next turn anyways, especially if they have a board wipe, and I would like to just not get hit by that, so. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we can just sort of skip our commander here, and I'm not too upset with that. When is this ultimate? 6? Well, sneak attack. Okay, it's been a... Ooh, don't know last time I've seen that card. That's very scary. Okay, oh boy. I guess I'm leaving up swords. That was a really good draw, given the situation here. I guess I get rid of that. So I can swing like this, and then tap the halflings for 1 additional damage, I guess. And then, if they put something really big in play, I guess I might not have lethal if it's like... I mean, if it's Ulamog, I just let it hit me. I don't care. Old Gnawbone. Okay, certainly don't want that one to hit me, if I can help it. That one's not as big as a deal. That also... What? Nice. Yep. I mean, they go up to 9. They do go up to 9. But then these actually can't block once I get this in play. Right? Oh, no, they can still block these two. The weird synergy. I hate having like, how am I gonna kill my opponent with small stuff? I have to shrink it so it's unblockable. Like, it's just so weird. Like, my opponent just has excellent trades here now. It's just really bad. But hey, we got the Bastry Ket ultimate, which is also really, really cool. I don't know what this is doing. This is weird. I don't know why that's in this kind of deck, but hey, you know what? Let him cook. Alright, Mono Black. Probably an abysmal matchup because there are a lot of sweepers and early spot removal, which could be very problematic. Maybe this gets us out of it or something. Some early scam draw or something like that. It is Onyx, it's not Davriel. Notable. My hand is a lot of threes though, but oh well. Not much I can do about it. Hey, look, a 2. It's also moderately difficult to deal with. My opponent has a 1-mana card already. Can't wait. Hopefully it is Fatal Push. I'd much prefer Fatal Push over Dark Ritual because reasons. Alright, opponent figured out that they don't have anything to do. Look at that. I'm trying to entice something. Alright, we didn't get what we wanted. I'm gonna play this instead of my commander, because until my commander is useful, I see no reason to let my opponent kill it for free. Yeah, I'll just do this. It's all the same in the end. It's the same amount of damage. Doubling up on these doesn't really get me anywhere. It's like so slow to crack the clue in the first place. Okay, I don't think it's Dark Ritual, so it must be Fatal Push, which means this is kind of safe. I also don't really... Alright, combat. Okay, see if we can scam our opponent's hand. -2, -2. Is there anything I can do about that? No. Okay. So that could have been the 1-mana card that's just been looming in there for 12 years. Rankle's Prank is very annoying. This is also very annoying. Invoke Despair is annoying. I guess I'm doing Rankle's Prank. And then just playing this. Yep, alright. Again, I prefer to push damage than just play my commander for no reason. I can Skyclave their vampire, I guess, but then they... Yeah, this is just bad. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to take this, so I can't block. This can stop something this turn as well. Okay, they need something more. They need to draw something. Did we get there? Thalia? Taxes? Okay, they're passing. Yes! Oh! Oh, that felt so bad. Oh. Alright. Let's get some early pressure, maybe, sort of. Imagine this was Ragavan. Ugh, imagine. Yeah. Guess I really want to play Giver before I don't play Giver. But I might end up swinging with Giver just for the Boros Elite. Depending on what my opponent does. If they do nothing. Alright, pre-combat this seems nice. And then nothing to do with this. Okay, I'm just going to swing. I think they have a counter spell. Just want to push damage. Actually, it basically has to be a counter spell, to be honest with you. Don't know what else it could be. Okay, draw a card. Really nice. Maybe, sort of. Alright, so do I play my commander? I think I'm going to threaten my opponent's hand. I think that's just better. They could have like a wash away. None of this matters except the Silex. Let's take that. So they can't Silex me. Alright, this is probably the most straightforward game I've played so far. Just like a slower ramp deck that can't really do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are dead. Nice. Really nice. Wow, yeah, that was just straightforward. Play play a bunch of creatures, kill our opponent, they can't do anything. Everything in their hand was too expensive and slow. I'm going to try to hold on to the Inspector. Notably, I do not care about that. Like, at all, actually. It's kind of funny. I can blow it up with this, too. Because it is an artifact. But again, I don't really care about this. That, I care about. Alright, so we have 2 things to blow up here. They still draw a card off it, which is extremely annoying, but is what it is. It isn't free. I mean, it is for life. There's an argument to maybe let them just keep it, because last time somebody kept it, they killed themselves. They did 40 damage to themselves, and I won because of it. But expect that to not be a repeating thing. I'm just gonna go straight into killing that, I think. I don't think I can afford to let that sit around. It doesn't really make sense, so let them just do it. It basically did a 5 mana, or they did a 4 mana draw 2 that gained 5 life, is basically what they did. Okay, so let's play this now. Opponent has Pact of Negation. There's nothing else that could be. I can't do anything about it anyways. If they sweep me, I will draw off of Lauren. Okay, that is another promising thing. Maybe just a plus here. Yep, not really upset about that. Opponent's already going to discard, so this is an ideal time to do it. They don't really get as much value, because again, they have to discard. Opponent has something, so I can't just risk it. If they untap with Teferi, I lose the game, so I can't, I just can't risk it. And now we... If something's going to get countered, I guess I'd like this to get countered instead of the Bugler. Okay, it just didn't get countered. Not gonna lie, I did not anticipate that in any way. Alright, I mean, this isn't a bad card to have, but it's not amazing. Oh, I guess I could have drawn off of the token. Yeah, I didn't have to crack the clue. Whoops, forgot that was a thing. For some, in my head, I forgot that this actually triggers, because it's, like, bigger than what my commander cares about, but it obviously still triggers anyways. I just don't get 2 of them. But this would trigger twice. I think I can draw both off. Yeah, I had 2 mana. So that was a whoopsie. Okay, so my opponent did have an answer if I just sent the 5 to Teferi. I don't know if I would have done this, though. This makes me think there's no board wipe, right? Why would you bounce my card and then sweep my board? So I think we're in a good spot. Other Teferi. Interesting. Sure. Just sort of sending that to the void, I guess. Fair enough. Okay, straight to combat. You here. And I guess I'll play my weakest stuff first. So like this. And then draw. And then, Actually, you know what? Why not? I like that. I like Heliod more than this, so let's cast this. It also restricts what my opponent can do next turn, maybe. So that would be nice. Alright, so not quite. They did have basically an answer, but it's not like a penultimate answer. Another Planeswalker. Alright, opponent's just throwing them into the void. I like this. I mean, they gotta do what they gotta do, especially when I'm constantly killing them. Because it's not, like, ever lethal. But they are losing life each time they do this, slowly. I just need a turn where they don't have a spell alongside of their other stuff, to be honest. Okay. So, let us play land. Think we can get Heliod into play. We should. It's better than anything else. Might as well play this too. And everything's up front, so here, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they must block to save their face. Or I can just, I think I just have to do this. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and ignore Jace. It gives them an extra card, potentially, but, like, at this point, I kind of need to kill my opponent. And we have Devotion, so if they have a sweeper or something, if I ever give this Devotion, they're just, like, instantly dead, basically. But this does give them a card off the Jace, but the Jace is a lot to deal with the blocker there. Of course, you know, Max punished for not dealing with Jace. Now it just gets to plus again. Excellent. Well, as long as they don't have another extra turn, we don't have to deal with its ultimate. Although the ultimate doesn't save them. I mean, it's pretty straightforward what they should keep or not. It either saves you or it doesn't on the top of your own deck, right? So there's not too much that you keep on top. Like, you're facing down lethal. Okay, that can lock down 2 cards. 2 creatures, essentially. They are still dead. Okay, sure. Are they dead now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm 1 off lethal. Can I gain life and trigger that life gain before combat off a Heliod to make a second lethal attacker? It does not look like it. So I can look for something. What's the alternative, really? I don't really know if I can possibly find anything relevant. I don't think I can. There's so many triggers. I don't think I can find anything off this. Yeah, I just don't think so. That would have been able to gain life right there. So that's unfortunate. And I just have to hope I can beat the Jace ultimate, I guess. Alternatively, I can maybe just swing at Jace with everything. I mean, it's lethal regardless next turn, so I might as well decline my opponent's ability to ultimate. Because again, this is going to kill our opponent next turn. Putting them to 1 does not change anything. Let's just make it so they can't ultimate Jace and then, like, win or lose anyways. I think that makes sense. Tamiyo also doesn't necessarily do anything impactful. It doesn't stop them from dying. Okay, there's nothing in the graveyard except... Nope, there's no extra turn, right? It exiles itself. So nothing in the graveyard that's relevant. They have to blind plus, I think. For, like, Time Warp? Wrath of God? I don't even know. Okay, Teferi? That doesn't... You can't even cast this yet. Alright. I was about to say, if you cast that, you're just dead. Unless you have Fog in your deck or something. But really nice. Okay. So, this deck is just, like, not good. I won 6 games. I don't know how many I played, but I think that would actually be about 50%, 50-50-ish. However, it's still super swingy. Like you either win really fast, like, you know, just mono white beatdowns, sorta, or you just don't, right? Oh, they have a sweeper, you lose. Oh, they have like one card that can block over and over, you probably lose, which is very, very devastating. Or Adeline doesn't necessarily have to deal with the latter of the two. Sweepers are still pretty bad, but if your opponent has a way to block, it's not good, right? And there are a lot of creatures that can just kind of block at power 0, 1, and 2. They can just block you. And if they do have power 2 things, then they can kind of trade with you. And our deck is sort of trying to ignore that, because we're trying to be sort of unblockable. And when they can trade, it's just really hard. Like, somebody had a 2/7. They had a 2/7 in play, which can block because its power's lower than 3. And there's no way I'm going to kill it in combat. So it's just going to kill something every combat until I kill it. And this gets harder. Like, it's even harder to deal with because I don't have a way to... like, I have Swords of Plowshares, I guess, and then that weird Fiend Hunter. There's some Fiend Hunter exile things like this. Like, it can, yeah, sure, I guess this happens doubly with this. But there's not a lot of answers, and you just kind of get stuck, right? And anything that's bigger than that in your deck that has more than 2 power can be blocked by anything. And then again, anything too small is going to get blocked by like a 2/5, and you're not really going to be able to swing. It's just really weird. Some things can trigger twice, other things cannot. This was just in here because it's a 2/2 Flying Vigilance. I don't have any angel stuff on it, but I think that's just where we have to be. Something like this does not trigger twice. It does not give you 2 1/1s because it's probably going to have more than 2 power, right? And it's not going to trigger because it's got more than 2 power, and this won't see it anymore. There was a lot of mana sink into... Where are you? Mentor of the Meek, because it costs 1 to do this. And there's a lot of times where I did not have spare mana, right? I'm trying to curve out. It's very low to the ground. Drawing a bunch of cards means I'm not spending my mana to cast an additional creature, so that can be a little weird. This triggering twice on everything is really nice, but again, that's a lot of mana, and you might not ever have that kind of mana to even maybe pay for 2 of them if you're curving out. So it's kind of weird in that regard. I do like this card. I had to craft it for this deck. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. It's kind of cool to play it. Why not? Yeah, it's just weird. It's probably the worst mono white beatdown commander, probably. And I don't know if Historic Brawl, Magic the Gathering Arena specifically, has the cards in it that really exploit the power behind this card, what it's trying to do. I don't think we have access to that. Like, I'll have to look up what it plays in EDH. You know, EDHrec.com probably has so many different cards that you can't play here. I probably should have looked to begin with, because I'm sure there are some cards I didn't play, people screaming at me to run, but this is just what I grazed across and felt like it was worth it, especially with a beatdown plan in mind, as opposed to some sort of value engine, especially when you're mono white. Mono white value commanders are really far between, and they're not really that good anyways, and so I don't know. I never got to play anything that, like, I didn't get to play this or this, unfortunately, but that doesn't really surprise me. I got to play this a couple times. It was cool. It was pretty honest, though. It's not doing anything that exciting, but, it was pretty neat. I don't think I got to play this card. Never saw Elish Norn, but any time I would have cast Elish Norn on 4, it would have been pretty easy to flip this, and that's all I really like it for. So I think this is perfect for this deck. It does also kind of make 2/2s, right? They are 2/2s, right? Yeah, they are 2/2s. The next turn, they're 3/3s, but they have double strike, so you would prefer if they just got the double strike and didn't get the +1/+1, because then they can be unblockable, right? And what is that, 20 right there? Yeah, that would be just 20 unblockable 2/2 double strikes in total. So that would actually be pretty nice, but even still, it's just decent, right? You know, after that turn, they go back to being 2/2s, and if your opponent isn't dead or hasn't hosed your board yet, then, you know, they're unblockable again, and that's perfectly fine. But I just like this card for that. Teferi's Protection's pretty expensive, and so is this one. This one also is awkward if I try to sorcery speed it, because the 1/1 counters now completely change how my opponent can and cannot block, because anything power 2 going to 3 changes everything fundamentally. Triggers change as well and whatnot, so very weird, very weird. Another odd one that was in here is that Specialize. This is weird. Buffing your hand means certain things will no longer happen because they might break the threshold. So they're not doing this anymore. They're not triggering twice with their ETB, and they might be able to be blocked. This trigger can happen twice if my commander's in play, which, okay, sure. But then again, yeah, you're shutting down the rest of your hand. It's just not going to work anymore with this. And that is very strange. Very, very strange. Just like the past... Every commander in this set so far has felt strange. This is no exception. It just doesn't seem like there's enough cards in the format to allow it to do anything but be aggro, and at that point play Adeline or whatever. So, but I don't know. It's fun to, you know, just play a aggro deck every now and again. It is different. It is not like any other mono white aggro commander. So at least it's got that going for it. It does play somewhat different cards. That's kind of cool. But none of them are that exciting, really. But, you know, not everything can be a hit. Everything can be a hit. So let me know what you thought about this list. If you have an idea for it in the confines of this and not just regular EDH where we don't have access to those cards, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.